Yes, hi.
Okay, tadi kan Cik Luqman ada cakap pasal walaupun baru bekerja and then kena hadap semua kerja-kerja yang banyak tu kan. So
Okay.
how macam mana Cik Luqman jadi sangat calm and try to handle all of that? Especially bila barulah bekerja dalam bidang tu ke and
Mm-mm-mm.
hadap semua benda tu. Sebab some people mesti macam kita masuk dalam industri dia akan cakap takkan benda macam tu pun tak tahu macam tu.
Mm.
Awak dah je nak jadi engineer macam tu lah.
True, true. Thank you very much, Hannah. Um, I felt this, of course, in very beginning of my career, masuk Proton Project Management Office, because it's a different culture totally. Because in Proton you have a very large organization, so many people can help you with this, and that people are very, how do you say, focused with their jobs. Um, but when I moved to Mercedes-Benz, this is not Mercedes-Benz um, car, passenger vehicle, I must say. So passenger vehicle is under Mercedes-Benz Malaysia. So back in 2017, they have split kereta, trucks, vans. Yeah. So Mercedes-Benz trucks and vans. So trucks and vans does not have that much volume as kereta. So the organization is very vigilant with expenditure. So there's not a lot of staff. So for product management, it's just me and one head, senior manager. So of course, they teach you one time. I still remember it was my third day in office. Somebody from Singapore came over from Daimler Trucks, Southeast Asia. 2 days full of training. So there's a lot of learning there. So macam yang Hana tanya tadi, how do I cope is basically you really need to show them you can do this. So of course you kena lah. You kena, because this is like the learning process. You learn from mistakes. Tapi of course you need to be mindful. You kata, oh, you people say you cannot say don't know, but there's a way of saying don't know. It's like, oh, I tried this. You show your effort first. If I don't have much stuff along the way that I've served, because I'm not really tinggi lah position I. Tapi I have interns, but these are the efforts that we want to see from you all. From me myself now, I always consult. I mean, corporate strategy is totally new with me at the moment. So I was like, I really show my effort. Okay, I already talked to this vendor on this. Vendor said gini 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 gini. So what do you think? How do you think this will align with our need? Because of course, our superior will have more experience than us. That is why they are our superior. Bak kata orang Melayu, makan asam garam kehidupan dulu sebelum kita. You know? So you must be humble in that way. Okay? I hope that simply answers ya Hana punya soalan.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Oh, while we are at that, right? Let me share quickly. When I said I was FOMO guy, this is what I want to share to you. Manilah apa saja ni. Again, I'm a meme guy.
I would give myself, look, I hate to do it, but I will do it. I would give myself an A plus. Is that enough? Can I go higher than that? I would give
Again,
myself, look, I hate to do it, but I will do it. I would give myself an A plus. Is that enough? Can I go higher than that? I would.
this is what I mentioned about. Everybody loves to be at their comfort zone, not doing something new. So it's like not saying like you hate to do it, but you are kind of forced to do it. I mean, this is my personal sharing, yeah. So it's like I hate to do it, but if I need to do it, I'll give myself an A plus. Means you push to your limit. Bila ala-ala you dah study, you have your masters. Why not you finish to the PhD? If you want to look into that way lah. Why? I don't know if there's a question on why, of why I did this, but is basically, if there's above PhD, I will try to push myself to be that above PhD. You know, tapi one step at a time lah. I mean, kita berusaha. Okay, let me share the screen for Slido. Okay, so this is the beauty of Slido. You can vote. You can actually vote. So I can see kalau banyak. Okay, now I have 9 questions here, right? So if you have almost a similar question as this, then soalan dia akan terus naik atas. You know, I did this for a very large crowd, so it's like, oh, this is a good thing. So the Slido link is in the chat box. Okay, how do you manage the mindset shift and transition? Oh, tu dia. How do you manage the mindset shift and transition from highly technical role to strategic business role, corporate strategy? I can relate this to my educational journey because back then, when I did industrial management and project management, it is solely on execution. Um, Starting from the university times, is solely about execution stage. But when I went in Proton, it's like you were already given something that you don't know will happen, you don't know will happen or not. So it gives you a sense of curiosity on how does these people up there decide on doing this. You know? So um so this is the point where the mindset shifted. Yeah. And believe me, I will not BS you, but it is really tough. I mean, I just completed my probation. For this probation, I have like different skills of projects, payment solutions, is in it around, I think 4 projects at the moment, 5 projects at the moment. Tapi my GM said, not necessarily all this will go through. Don't worry. But we put our effort to really study about that project, how the project can benefit. All right. And then true enough, when I did this project presentation to our VP of corporate planning, a Japanese expat, my head again panas. You know, for almost 2 hours, I was grilled on financial sheet. So it's like, why you do this? Why you don't filter this? Where you got this number from? This number is good or not? Is it true? So again, this is an international experience that a good exposure for all of you. Again, I'm learning the international way, but I'm still here in Malaysia, close to my family and friends. Okay, I tick this, menjawab. Okay, so soalan yang banyak sangat. How do you prepare your very first interview? How do we sell ourselves as fresh grads on our first interview? Okay, you are already in your final semester. Um, the good news for those who have been backup who has been like FOMO like me since very beginning. Alhamdulillah. I mean, of course, we were showed to this path by the God. So we have made use of our time. Yeah, we have made use of our time in university, but it's not the end of the story. Le passé est le passé. The past is the past. So what you need to focus now is basically what you can do next. So within this 1 year, within this 1 year left, for example, you are aspired to be a, a design engineer, right? So what you need to learn to be a design engineer, you need to know about CATIA better. Maybe I take course CATIA Advanced, for example. But now there's a solution to everything. Now, do you know about Coursera? Like right, Coursera ke apa? Coursera, something like that. This Coursera will give you almost free course or a very minimum, you know, minimum charges. You know, very minimum charges. So you can easily, bila you want to sell yourself, you you put that to the very beginning, atas, so that this particular company, when you say, oh, there's an advanced Katia, and then along the way, as your assignments or as a study, you try to navigate about this. And then this is the project that I've done during the classes during Coursera, for example. Even though it's just Coursera, but it shows to the company you are actually doing something with yourself to actually be different than the rest, even though you are just a fresh grad. Okay, so menjawab soalan, hopefully sell ourselves. Okay, empat. Okay, so 4 orang menjawab soalan tu. Alright, anything in the chat box? In the chat dulu sekejap. Muhammad Shafiq is on basic. Ni. No, nothing. Okay, as a final year student, I'm interested to go further in automotive industry. Can you advise to further my career into after finishing study? Automotive industry, like I remember the speaker from Petronas just now. The doctor said, automotive industry is not just purely the OEM, original equipment makers. Pro 2, Proton, Toyota, Chanchong, apa-apalah, Stellantis and whatnot. My study for my DBA sekarang, it's not just this OEM, it's the level below OEM, because the automotive industry is very vast and big. Because if you cannot work in OEM first, you can work with all these OEMs, suppliers and vendors to these OEMs. Big suppliers for Proton back then, Azman Hamzah Plastic, Highcom Taxi, and now with a lot of China brands coming in, China company will set up a branch in Malaysia to supply, because they want to have this um, local 40% local content, right? So that is my advice. Tengok JobStreet, Indeed, etc. My Future Jobs. Yeah, because some company use, like Mitsubishi, they use JobStreet. Some companies like Maxis, apa semua yang lagi besar, they use LinkedIn, because there's a cost in each of these, recruitment softwares. Some may even use My Future Jobs by the Human Resource Ministry. Might be even free, I don't know. Okay, so as a student, you must be very hungry. You cari, tak dapat cari ni, cari sini. This is agility, because that's why my study is on agility. Okay, so my advice is focus on each of this. Why do you choose to stay in your field? Why do you keep motivated and patient? Have you ever thought about switching to another field that is more in trend? Yeah, I'm not, again, I'm a very agile person. Agile person means if you can, there's a lot of opportunities in this world. Okay, that's why I applied for even Habitual IT company, because I saw that IT there's a lot of opportunities with IT. Because this IT software also caters for engineering clients. So if you have an engineering and you are interested in IT, you combine it, what you get? You'll be a good candidate for them. Am I not? So yeah. So me being in the industry for 10 years, it's like I tried oil and gas, to be frank. But probably it might be too late. But I don't know if the lecturers have any other friends from other industry after 15 years they swap from totally from automotive to oil and gas. But in my case, I'm not that lucky enough to be a project engineer or project manager in oil and gas. Of course, there's a lot of money there in oil and gas industry, of course. And I have a friend, same batch as me from Asasi, then mechanical engineering, yeah. Again, I repeat, mechanical engineering. Dia habis mechanical engineering, dia jadi vendor to Petronas. So from there, after 5, 6, 8 years probably, he moved to Petronas. Yeah. So, but of course, during that supplier to Petronas, you are in Miri lah. Dia orang Negeri Sembilan. Okay. So those are the things. Okay. Let me take this. Have you ever been burnt out? If yes, how do you overcome that feeling? How do you stay disciplined and when you're tasted luxury as an easy life? I've burned out when I have less things to do. because back in Proton, this is a personal sharing again. I even see the UI10 counselor. So because I went to see Puan Farah Zawana Ali, she's no longer with mechanical engineering because we are very close. So I asked Puan Farah, can I see you? Because she said, oh, I'm not really in charge of students anymore, but since you deliberately requested for me to be your counselor, then okay, let's talk. Just a talk, I mean, just curhat lah, curhat, curhat. So I curhat to her. So she not diagnosed lah. Dia macam can deduce and concluded that you are actually, I know you, Lokman lah. You are somebody who likes to achieve things. Tapi when you are in office, you pergi balik office, you have very minimum things to do. You feel something is lacking. Walaupun waktu tu I'm still studying lah. I'm not studying, I mean like part-time study. So it's like, kind of true, Puan Farah. So that's why, okay, I kemas-kemas as in like, okay, I conclude whatever projects I have, I start to find jobs and whatnot. So that is the feeling, that burnout feeling means for me lah, for my personal experience, I mean very short experience lah. Tadi yang Qatar Energy is already 27 years. It's like almost 3 times experience. Siapalah I. Tapi my experience at this particular point of time in my life, whether it be short or long, inshallah, is that if you feel something, then it's time to go. I mean, it's not that easy to go, tapi you need to put your effort lah. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that answers. How do you prepare yourself mentally before the interview? Like this session, my mama tanya, it's like, nervous ke nak talk petang ni? Kind of nervous, like tak siap lagi, because like the town hall is on Monday. So I think after this short break, sambung town hall kind of things. Because the GM already, I mean, the CEO asked the GM yesterday, it's like, oh, I'm going back to Ipoh for a while. So, but over the weekend, I'll touch up. But of course, it's just a compilation, but it's a company wide, so you cannot miss any data, this and that. Those are really need some focus. So how do I prepare myself mentally is be prepared physically, physical then mentally, because you'll be more confident. You'll be more confident if you know what to say during the interview. And another tips of me doing all these slides during interview is basically it will be the guide for you of what you want to say. Even with my introduction just now, all this apa ni, jalan-jalan tu, it will clearly guide the listener and the interviewer, apa ni nama, pictorially. Macam tu. So it's actually a guide for you. So there's a tips lah. You spend a little bit more time, right, to do that slides. Tapi it gives you that kind of it will ease your mental burden before an interview. Okay, other than keeping your job fresh grads, what should we focus on boost our chances and prepare ourselves better? I think Coursera lah. Did I mention it? Let me see. Coursera. Because I have a friend yang just graduated from data analytics. Dia kata susah nak cari kerja, this and that. So it's like, oh, what's it? Then I asked him, what do you do now? Oh, I'm doing Coursera. See, Coursera, degree certificates and free online courses. Okay, so I've not been to this, but I heard that people did this. So maybe you can explore. Or if there are any other options better than Coursera, you to take short courses, those kind of things. Where should we focus on boost our chances? Okay. Since you are in automotive free, to what extent will EV reshape the automotive landscape in the coming years? I did a lot of study on EV because I was in part of the EV strategy. So what I basically did back then is basically by 2025, this is a fact. By 2025, the country should have 10,000 EV chargers all over Malaysia. But the fact is, the chargers is basically just 40% away from that 10,000 chargers. Means that the trend was like this, but it's kind of plateau because it's a situation of chicken and egg. You you want to prepare the connector first or you jual kereta dulu. So EV, I must say, is very volatile, very uncertain. But one thing for sure is there's a lot of EV companies coming, especially from China. You have the PHEV, JQ, you have BYD, of course. BYD started off with just selling the battery, now they're selling the cars. So these are the industry that is volatile, like Tesla, even though we don't have the production here, but but there's a potential in that situation. Is it okay to feel is it okay? This comes first. Okay, I'm interested to become a design engineer in the future. What things do I need to consider, and how many software do I need to know? In Proton, okay, we use Katia, we use VRED, Virtual Reality Engineering Design kind of thing. VRED. These two things. I don't know about Tanchong. I don't know about Prodoa, but in Proton we use these two. Okay, so consult since you are already since you are still in the university, consult the lecturers. I mean, consult your academic advisor who can you reach out to. I mean, these are the things that you need to do. You cannot just berharap tiba-tiba you tahu. Yeah. So it's a good thing you ask. Good, good, good. So, but yeah, you reach out to people. You reach out to people. Reach out to you. The nearest maybe for me is your academic advisor. Okay. What things you need to and how you myself. Yeah. Is it okay to feel lost in what you do? Like my life, follow the flow. Kalau ada lah, kalau ada adalah. But somehow I don't know what I'm doing right now. What do you think? Kind of lost in life, yes. I don't know, a lot of factors. Maybe your CGPA might be good, but you expect better CGPA 4.4 flat, for example. Okay, but um, you didn't focus on something that you already cannot control. You control what you can control. So again, le passé est le passé. The past is the past. Focus on what you can do now. So what you can do now, even though I think I don't mind to share my CGPA lah. My CGPA back then was for mechanical engineering was semua nak dengar ke? 3.55. Barely, 3.5 is the for proton punya masuk. So 3.55 tu macam because for me engineering is a struggle. I tak cakap engineering senang. So salute to all the lecturers for always keeping us intact. Yeah, keeping all the students intact. So dia macam yeah, but alhamdulillah, other than studying, I also did all this MPP thing. So it gives me the pleasure of doing these communication skills. So there's a thing that is a good thing for me. Okay, my life principle kalau ada adalah, but somehow I don't know what I'm doing right now. So it's like chill, doa, you pray for the best, and then like I mentioned, do something like tangible. You ambil course, you boleh nampak. You apply for exchange program, for example. So these are the things that you can actually put in your resume, even though you still have 1 year left. Okay, and Coursera lah, I think. Coursera or any other things. I mean, you can always ask Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, apa yang boleh masuk. Can you share your slide after the presentation? Yes. Let me. Yeah, I'll do a link. But I believe the lecturer will have a link to all of you, so I can forward the link of my Google Drive to all of you. All right. What is your advice for us to join Proton Young Talent? To be honest, I don't know what is the requirement. Is it 3.75, 3.5? But you try first because every year they will invite 20 newcomers to Proton Young Talent. So it's actually 2 years program. Every 6 years you'll be attached. Every 6 months you'll be attached to one department, and then you move to another department. So it's a good way to learn about Proton, and they pay quite a lot, I must say. But of course, maybe not as much as Axiata. But of course, if you really like into automotive, you can also explore if Tanchong or Renault, they have, I mean, Stellantis, if they has this kind of program as well. What I know is Proton lah, because some of my friends are from this Proton Young Talent. Is it okay if I haven't figured out what I want to be in future since I'm enjoying the present a little too much? I guess I love how you give advice on life. Alhamdulillah is a good thing that you appreciate and you can actually fathom what I said from the very beginning. Is it okay I haven't figured out what I want to be in the future? It is very okay. It is very okay because you are not, I mean, you are still in school. School means FKM lah. You're still in school. You have not tasted the water. You have not you have not dipped your feet into the real water because some people might say, "Oh, I want to do in automotive," but once you're in automotive, it's like, but and then you went to a conference about IT, project management, for example. It might give that realization to you. You know, I mean, you must be agile. You tak boleh too rigid. I nak ni, I nak ni, I nak ni, I nak ni. You know, so it is very okay to not be okay at the moment. Some people that EV are not really clean of how the electricity and batteries are produced. What is your opinion on this? I went to this talk with Tun Mahathir back in 2023. Let me quickly. Dr. Azli, kita ada masa lagi Dr. Azli, sekejap ya.
Boleh, tak ada masalah tu. Kita semua saja depan, tak ada masalah.
Oh, amin, amin.
Amin. Sorry.
Where's my slide? Am I sharing now? Oh yeah, I think I'm sharing this now. Okay, with this event with Tun Emma, I asked him. It was a Look East Policy event by the Japanese embassy. I asked Tun, because I asked for his anecdote in my research. I cakap, Assalamualaikum Tun, I'm doing a research on automotive agility. What is your take on the future of Malaysian automotive industry? Back then in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, 2023, when all these EVs are still people is not really hype about EV, he is already talking about hydrogen vehicle because he said EV, like you mentioned, is not that clean because you are doing all this nickel, cadmium, lithium ion battery. So where does this material of this battery comes from? It comes from somewhere. You need to dig the earth rare materials. So this is something that is not feasible. But HEV, hydrogen efficient vehicle, yeah, is a good option. However, hydrogen logistics is very difficult. Hydrogen is very flammable, so it's like there's a pros and cons in everything. So, but my advice to all of us here, young, at this level, we focus on if you want to do like ESG, ESG kind of thing. So you can take courses on ESG, right? Okay, back to here. Where's my Slido? Okay, some people are not really clean because how little batteries. Yep. Okay. Alhamdulillah, I completed everything. Any other questions from the floor? This and that.
Oh, semua dah keluar tangan dah tu. Good. That's a good career.
Yeah.
In the session.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you as well because I listened to the talks from the very beginning because I was like, oh wow, I mean, how do I actually be slightly different than the other speakers? Is basically all the speakers is talking about all the strategic lah. It's like I want to bring it back nearer to all of you. That's my intention just now. Bring the theme of my speech today, of my talk today, nearer to all of you, so that it is more executable to your near future. I mean, now is final semester. Nak masuk kerja bila? those kind of things. So this is where my stand for this afternoon. So banyak macam tu.
Very interesting. Very interesting Cik Luqman you punya talk, you punya sharing session is very interesting. So I
Thank
think
you very
mungkin
much.
betul lah you cakap mungkin you relate dengan students you relate yelah dia rasa dia macam pakai lah lebih baik pun lebih kurang